Everglades Equipment Group was founded in 1963 as Everglades Farm Equipment in Belgrade, Florida. We believe in people, but we also believe in a perseverance and an attitude of I can get it done. We truly are a family-owned business, and we care. In the early 1900s, my great-grandfather brought his whole family down here to the southern tip of Lake Okeechobee. He had heard about the soil, some of the most nutrient-rich soil in the whole world. Probably one of the largest areas in the world that has this type soil. It's black gold to many of the farmers in this area. The early years down here were very challenging times. You know, most people take it for granted that you have farmland to farm. You know, my family at that point were creating farms to be able to farm. So it was some very, very challenging times. And then on top of that, in the late 1920s, a hurricane came through. My grandfather had actually been away on a business trip. Luckily, when he came back, it was total decimation. All he saw was lost farms, lost equipment, lost animals, lost lives. And the amazing thing about it was there was hundreds and hundreds of stories just like that. Total decimation. He wrote a letter that really gave a window into what his thoughts were going forward.
October 25th, 1928. Just a few lines to let you know that I am okay. The searching party is still finding bodies and disposing of them the best way possible. The situation here, after the storm, was indescribable. A World War veteran said the war was hell, but he could find no words to express the despair of this situation. Our beloved home site is a complete loss. Everything is gone. The only remnant I could find was our tractor, alongside the old cypress tree, which somehow was still standing. There is opportunity here, and once the waters recede, we will start anew and begin to rebuild.
So my grandfather came to a moment in his life, like most people do. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna give up? But through a tenacious work ethic and a positive attitude, came back and did what he knows how to do. He farmed, and he ultimately started a family, and he did that for the next 40 years. And that attitude permeates through our whole customer base, through this whole community. It's a community of hard work and success and getting after it. The situation was, as I understand it, is my grandfather had a little bit of money because he sold his land out.
Came back here and worked with my father on the farm, and he had about 2,000 acres. Part of it on this land here and another one about 15 miles east of here. He sold that farm in '63, started the tractor place.
Fritz Stein had the barn available.
My granddaddy had a barn, and that's where the first Everglades Farm Equipment went into business. That in 1963.
My dad and his partner bought two 4020 John Deeres the first or second year that Everglades Farm Equipment was in business. Bought it out of the old original Stein barn there in Chosen, Belgrade. And that was a very humble beginning compared to where they are today.
Don was a salesman and equipment man. So they all had unique talents or brought unique things to the game, and that's why they kind of got together to start the dealership.
In '67, Daddy had purchased all outstanding stock, which was very, very minimal. And W.L. Cunningham and I came into the tractor place, and W.L.'s wife, Jackie, did all the paperwork. So we had three people that do absolutely nothing, but we were very energetic.
We ran in Belglade for close to 35 years in only Belglade.
We were only one store, so when we got equipment then, you didn't have any inventory. So you had to call these guys next door and ask them if they would give it to you. That's how you had relationships with other dealerships, by bartering, trading out pieces of equipment to sell, because this place was ag. It was not interested in selling $1 million in lawn equipment. But we did. You just ran harder and faster until you could sell it.
At one time, John Deere decided that they wanted dealers to either grow or get out of the business. And I was involved in the business heavily, and I didn't want to go. So it was a unique opportunity for us to grow, so we went from 1 location to 8 locations in 1 year.
As a company today, we service some of the largest agricultural producers of sugar, citrus, vegetables, to individual farms, golf courses, nurseries, commercial landscape management companies, construction businesses, as well as large and small property owners.
It's a wide gamut of customers we service, and we have to have grown in our ability to be able to take care of all types of customers.
I've been with U.S. Sugar for over 30 years, almost 31 years this year. And that entire period of time we've done business with Everglades Equipment Group. I grew up with Roger Walker's kids, and Roger spent over 15 years with the Schlechter family, and he started what is now known as our current relationship on our tractor fleet. And Roger was a big part that really helped move the relationship along with Everglades Farm Equipment. U.S. Sugar has hundreds of vendors, and Everglades Farm Equipment is not one of those vendors. They would rank up into the partner category, because it's not about selling the tractors. It's about how we do business, and being what's good for U.S. Sugar is good for Everglades Farm Equipment, and vice versa.
We will never take it for granted that you are our customer. It is a relationship, and we know you have to be successful for us to be successful.
So we came down in the late 60s and started farming, and we fell right in with Everglades Farm Equipment and the Schlechter family.
So a lot of them were people that I had grown up with. Some of them, like the Basors and TKM, we've known almost all of our lives. Their interests overlie with our interests. They hunt, they fish. Their kids are the same age as ours. The bonds that you build with people you spend a lot of time with makes selling equipment to them and also.
Huntley Farms is a family-run business, and we've been dealing with Everglades Farm Equipment for as many years as we've been in business, and it's really a great relationship professionally and socially. I'm friends with the Schlechters. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law are all friends with the family, and our children are now becoming friends.
We have really grown our operation from when we first started. We're up to 7,000 acres of lettuce now, and gosh, I don't know how many tractors we have of, they're all green. The technology that we have received through John Deere and Everglades Farm Equipment has made us better farmers, more efficient, where we know precisely how much fertilizer we're putting down per acre. It's exact, and it's reduced our outputs, or the fertilizer that we have to use, because we are actually kind of stewards of the land and try and protect the environment.
The job that we see from Everglades Equipment Group is they come out if we need a tractor, if we need service, they're there, and that's the reason that we find them to be extremely reliable. And so we'll continue to use them. Our relationship we hope to continue for a long period of time.
We've chosen Everglades as our primary equipment supplier just because of long-standing relationships, the customer service and the support that we get from them. Getting parts in a timely manner is so critical to us. Our equipment's getting a little long in the teeth, so when it goes down, getting the parts in, whether it's next day or the customer service van comes by and drops this off to us, helps us speed at getting that piece of equipment back onto the golf course, because our membership doesn't want to hear the excuses, or this is down or that's down.
This is the 75th year that Williamson Cattle Company's been in business, located here in Okeechobee, Florida. We've been in the cattle business, cow-calf operation, but also the citrus business. And the relationship that Williamson Cattle Company's had with John Deere and specifically Everglades Equipment is one of those examples that it's good for both sides. In life, those are the relationships that are best. They have to work good for both people. You know, in my lifetime, things have really changed where you just have a diesel John Deere tractor and a diesel mechanic to work on it. Now with all the technology, which has brought us so much further forward, you've got to have a good place that you buy equipment that has good service and backs up their product.
The money that Everglades spends on keeping up with the technology John Deere's making available really gives us an advantage. If I can call a customer on the phone and walk him through some things that I've seen after logging into his machine and save him a service call, it might save him some money that time, but he's gonna call us back. One, to neither have that or he's locked in with us because he feels secure.
A lot of times people talk about how long they've been in business. That really is not as important to me as we've been in business 60 years and there's a reason for that. Our faith, and we live our faith. It plays out every day in our business. We make decisions sometimes plainly on integrity. It costs us money, but it's about doing what's right.
And they worked with me, and Mr. Selector did, Johnny. And when it took me about 3 years to get caught back up on what I owed him, and when I went into Johnny's office to pay him the final check, and he took the check and tore it up and told me, he said, I don't want your service charge money, I just want your business. And they've had it ever since.
We've grown to 18 locations now. And as we have grown, some things have not changed. An attitude of persistence and a can get it done is something that I expect in all of our locations, and we will continue to instill that in our locations.
I tell our people all the time, Everglades Equipment Group is a name. You are the difference maker in Everglades. You determine whether we win or lose.
At the end of the day, knowing your customer and what they go through on a daily basis also helps us learn what they need in the future. So it is important to know, in the relationship end of it, know each other, build confidence with one another, and they know when they come in here, they're gonna get what they need.
You know, we call them one-on-one. It's not a computer, you know, dealing with the customers all the time like other companies, so they like that. And they know me by my first name. I know them by their first name. I know their equipment. I get them what they want fast.
After 60 years, how is this company still so successful? I normally boil that down to the secret sauce, as I call it. When the owners of this company, the Selector family, take care of the employees, we in turn take care of our customers. That's the secret sauce.
You know, being able to leave a little early for a baseball game, being able to coach. The Selector family really puts importance on that as well, that as employees, you're not only allowed to, you're encouraged to. And so that's invaluable. To me, that's priceless. And I wouldn't work for a company that didn't allow that freedom to be part of what your kids and your family is doing.
Our day typically starts supposedly on paper at 7, but we're here between 20 to 6 and 6 o'clock every morning, and if I'm not here to open the gate, he's sitting there waiting on me. And that's a true testament to who Larry is and who we are as a company.
To be able to quickly react, to keep the customers going. We understand that the season is short, there's inclement weather, there's acts of God that are out of our control. And having the parts on hand, having the ability to help these customers keep going, to get their crops in and out of the ground, is something that we can all lay our heads down at night and know we did the best we could for our community, and it's just something we thrive on. It keeps us going.
So I haven't been here obviously all 60 years, but one of the things that I can say is, you know, it's take care of the customer and we'll take care of you. And I think that message has been resonated probably all 60 years. I know it has been since I've been here, and it's simple, it's basic, it's a culture, and it's what the Selector family wants, and it's what we want to do.
So I'd like to take a moment from myself and the team at Everglades Equipment Group to thank you. It's been an incredible 60 years, and we realize without you, there couldn't be another year. So, thank you.
Congratulations, Everglades Equipment, on 60 years, and Williamson Cattle Company looks forward to many, many more decades with Everglades Equipment.
Congratulations to Everglades on 60 years. Congratulations, Everglades, on 60 years.